Good morning, children. Let us continue with the class. So, in the previous class, we were discussing term chapter 9, right? Communication, page number 63. Okay. So, now we will be starting page number 64 from means of communication, right? Alright, let's start. There are various ways through which we communicate with each other. This may be called the means of communication. Underline what do you mean by means of communication? That means the different ways through which we communicate with one another is called means of communication. Okay? Okay. Nowadays, modern technology has given us wide options to choose the means of communication according to our requirement and liking. Let us discuss some of the important means of communication commonly used in our life. Okay, so there are various, like now this is one means of communication, technology through internet. You are at your home, I'm in the classroom, and you are getting what I'm explaining. Being at home, so this also whatever I'm trying to, whatever I want to convey or send message information to you, you're able to get that through this mode. So this is through internet, you can say, or through whatever you're accessing, be it in your laptop, in your computer or mobile phone. So this one means of communication. Likewise, there are various means of communication. So let us see some of them. First one, letter. Letters brought about the first big change in the field of communication. People can send various forms of letters, parcels, money orders, etc. through post office. In recent years, post office have started speed post, money orders. Courier services are also like speed post with a higher cost and personal touch. Okay. The best example for you to understand, because nowadays maybe you haven't come across letters and all. We have all this mobile phones and also the online order products which we order at times. Maybe you have ordered from, or you have seen your elder siblings or parents at times ordering. The delivery person, whoever comes at your doorstep and delivers, that is also a means of communication. That's a personal courier service, right? So likewise, even letters also, there are this, what do you call, parcels where we can send things. We can even send money through the post office. Post office was the only means of, sending or communication in the earlier days, but nowadays there are various other courier services which also acts like a kind of a speed post. But yes, since the courier services are not owned or not run by the government, so those are at a higher cost in comparison to the speed post of the post office. Next, we have telephone. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, which has made communication much easier in all parts of the world. It is the fastest means of communication. You know that very well. Just one press of the button, and you are able to speak with a person who is in any parts of the world, in any corner of the world. You can even send your messages within no time, convey your information or words, whatever you need to speak. Cellular phone, that is what we are talking about, the modern days phone, right? The mobile phone, cellular phone. Using cell phones, we can talk to any person anywhere at any time. They can be carried easily. They have become very popular these days. Messages can be sent through them. Web browsing and email can also be done on them. I think I don't have to explain you much when it comes to the mobile phone. Nowadays, students are much more smarter, and when it comes to mobile phone, that's what very often parents have been complaining about, right? Fax. Alexander Bain invented the fax machine. Underline that. Who invented the fax machine? Is Alexander Bain. A fax machine is used to send a printed matter or picture. The exact copy of the document reaches the receiver instantly. So, first of all, what does a fax machine do? It sends a printed matter, whatever it is. It will be in a printed form or even picture, and within no time, the same copy of the document reaches the receiver. Next, we have email. Electronic mail, commonly called email, is a method of exchanging digital email. In one simple line, if I explain you, it's a modern day letter, you can say. Huh? As I told you, the earlier days letter we used to send it through post office and all. So email is a modern day letter in simple term. Electronic mail, we are mailing through the means, through the use of electronic devices. Digital message, you can say that. Okay, let's see what the book has to say. Electronic mail, commonly called email, is a method of exchanging digital messages across the internet or other computer network. Originally, email was transmitted directly from one user's computer to other user's computer that required both computers to be online at the same time. Today's email system are based on a store and forward model. Email is quicker and cheaper than a telephone call. A limited edition of service is free for using the emails. So earlier days when email was first invented, it was basically required that it can be transferred from one computer to another computer, provided both of them are this what do you call, they have to be online at the same time. But now it is not so. For example, you have draft me a mail and I'm offline at the present moment, or I get online after 2 days, but even then I'll be receiving the mail. Okay, nowadays the system has of this email has changed. It is based on a store and forward model as per the book. Underline that. It is based on store and forward model. It will store it as long as you are not online, or the person to whom you have sent. Once the person comes online, he or she receives it. The mail gets forwarded automatically. Next, we have mass media. In addition to this means of communication, there are other means which addresses a wider audience. This means of communication are called mass media. Okay. Like for example, in simple term, mass means large group of people. So any means of communication which addresses the larger group of people, for example, say television, newspapers, radios, these are all kind of a mass media. With the help of this media, message information can be passed not only to one, two, or few group of people, to a larger group of people. That's called mass media. Okay, newspaper and magazine. The printed word through books and magazine, newspapers, and journals was among the first means of mass communication. Underline what was the first means of mass communication. No, we won't be able to finish this today. I thought, okay, I won't rush. We'll finish it up to this newspaper and magazine. I repeat, what is the first means of mass communication? That was newspaper and magazine. Next, though printed matter reached a lot of people, it had a big disadvantage. You know what was the disadvantage? Disadvantages which we teachers tell you very often, that if you do not study properly, your future is in dark. Same thing. In order to read what is written in a newspaper, in order to read what is written in a magazine, you will have to know how to read and write. So a person who does not know how to read and write, what is the use of magazine, what is the use of newspaper to that person? So that was a disadvantage, as because only the literate people were able to read, and illiterate, it was just a piece of paper for them with pictures and all, where they can see some pictures for some time, few seconds, and then flip the pages. That's all. Okay, we'll keep it up to newspaper and magazine. By next class, we'll finish it up. All right. See you then in the next class. Please go through the text. Study well.